I'm going to record this.
All of a sudden, I thought that we were moving on. I'm like,
Yeah. Hello, Eric Overholtz here.
oh,
New
Eric.
Year, brother.
Oh.
Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Just see you coming on here. I've got my couple different screens happening here. I want to be able to say hello to those that come on in and answer any questions or respond to anything that we can.
Hello, John.
But our intention, once again, is just to offer a New Year's blessing to your heart. In just a little bit, I'm going to talk about the free offering that we're going to be offering. But stay as long as you can and come back when you can. Share this if you desire, if you care for somebody in your field, because this is going to be a lot of love. You know, I saw something today that is very true for us. As you serve more people with love, money, health, abundance flow to you with grace. Whatever that may mean for you, money, wealth, health, friends, community, as you serve with love. And so we, as the powers of love, it is our joy to give, to serve with love, to serve you with music, message, inspiration, to bring you to a place of integration with your true divine nature, which is God, which is love, which is spirit, which is creator, which is Buddha, your divine innocence. And so we invite you to have a fireside chat with us for a little bit. And may this bless your heart in this time.
May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May my words and thoughts and feelings be the blessing this world longs to see. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May my words and thoughts and feelings be the blessing this world longs to see. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May my words and thoughts and feelings be the blessing this world longs to see. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
This is our prayer for you in this now. May you be happy. May you be free, liberated from the bondage of the mental slavery that binds us sometimes when we're addicted to stinking thinking. And may our actions be loving action. May we be the container for that peace, that liberation, that happiness for you. May you be the peace, the liberation, and happiness. May you be that embodiment for those around you in your community, in your home.
Loka samasta Sukino Bhavantu. Loka samasta Sukino Bhavantu. Loka samasta Sukino Bhavantu. I love that song.
Hmm.
It's one of my favorites.
So this got inspired. We're not going to make this a long, hour-long thing. It's going to be really just a love offering to your heart. And this is day one, as you might have seen. It's day one of a 40-day process. And this is coming about because beginning of January 2020, I and Heather began really going, we're going to start our year with...
Was it January?
It was January.
Oh, my word.
We began a 16-week mental boot camp called Mental Muscle with one of our dear friends, Reverend Dr. James Mellon. And Eric, if you're still there, he was there with us, and many others on Zoom, early morning, every day, getting up, journaling, going through beliefs and structures and concepts that, we may want to just firm up. It's just like going to the gym and working out. I gotta get to. My intention is to move this.
You mean the gym downstairs?
There's a gym downstairs,
right outside our door.
We're gonna get moving, as our dear friend Bobby Williams.
Open up. Please open.
Yeah, we look forward to getting to the gym, but working out our physical body. But we started working out our mental body, which then in turn affected our emotional body. And in that time, I got a whisper from Great Spirit to go through something I have done a couple times. I started it, but I never quite finished it. And it was the 40-Day Prosperity by johnrandolphprice. And this was a little tiny green book. It's called The Little Green Book. And I said, you know what, this time, because I had done Mental Muscle before.
Mm-hmm.
I've done Core Prosperity Relief. I've done many programs. They were gifts from James, or they were gifted, and I never finished them, and I was determined. There was a theme, there was a word that we were starting the 16 weeks, and mine was completion. I was going to complete what I started. Can you relate? You ever start to do something, your intention, like maybe you're doing a new year intentions, new year resolutions or whatever. We're not saying any of that.
Yeah.
We're saying that there's studies have shown that there are certain patterns that are set, like a 21-day process. There's different patterns of cycles of time, but there's something very mystical about 40 days. You can talk a little bit about 40 days.
Yeah, thank you. I love that these are in 40 days because I was prompted just a couple of weeks ago to start a 40-day process. And I think the significance for us, you probably more than anything else, is just the symbolic 40 days in the wilderness. When you go into a time where that you're going to set aside things that are normal and really focus on something for that season. I think the way that you get shown what's really going on and what's out of alignment with what it is you're taking in, there's something that gets set into motion. And so that wilderness period, you lay it all aside, and this is my intention. This is what I'm focused on. This is what I'm calling in, and this is what I'm asking God to reveal in me as me.
And so that's what I chose to do at the beginning of 2020. I took 40 days of John Randolph Price's work, and it's a very powerful process. And so my commitment, I got an inspiration, an intuitive hit to, because we're always looking on how we can give value. How can we inspire? How can we bring value to you? And this feels like just an offering of my heart to you. And so we're beginning today, day 1/1/21. Here we be. And for those of you that are listening now, or that may listen to another now, that may be later than 1/1, and that's okay. whenever you hear this for the first time, start today. Start. What you do today determines your tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
What you decide to do, what you choose to do today decides your tomorrow. Yesterday, 2020 is gone. Let it go. Bye-bye. Thank you.
And so many blessings and gifts.
And we can
Thank you,
literally
thank
say,
you.
we can say thank
Thank
you.
you.
We can literally, I
Yeah.
told Heather, I was like, I really did. We said thank you for 2020. I mean, it was a beautiful blessing. It was a huge blessing in our life.
Mm-hmm.
But I got newsflash for you. It is done to you as you choose to believe. There's no power outside of you that can do anything to you unless you choose to subscribe to it. That's the metaphysical truth. And so in reality and demonstration of going through this 40-day prosperity, we manifested great things in our life. We started a business called All for One Club. We came into prosperity unprecedented that we've ever done in community, and
from unexpected
a whole new
sources,
paradigm
yeah.
of being in a gifting where we come into community and we come to give, and by the measure we give, it's given unto us. And we have been called forth to give in 2020 in greater ways. We have given more in 2020 than we've ever given in any other year. And that's the truth. And it's been given in love. And so the universe goes, okay, you have enough to spare and enough to share. It's very evident by the nature of how you live. And so today is day one of a 40-day prosperity. And so what I'd like to do is share my screen with you and share a piece that I'm gonna, give me a second here. All right. We're gonna share screen.
See, Laura's here. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Mama Laura.
Hi, Jeanette.
And we're going to talk about something that we're going to be doing starting on January 10th, in just a little bit with Mama Laura and the One Global Family Foundation. So this is the beginning of it. And this is what I'd like you to, you can take a screenshot if you want and write this down.
Is there somewhere that they can download this? Is it?
Absolutely. You can look up the 40-day prosperity, John Randolph Price. It's a free PDF. You can get it. He's made it available. This isn't something that I feel I would even charge for. This is something that changed our life, and it can change your life should you choose to do this process. And so what I'm going to be doing, what we're going to be doing, Heather will be joining me off and on, but I'm determined for 40 days, whoever wants to join us on here on the Powers of Love at 11:11 every day, we'll begin a 40-day prosperity journey. And we're going to dig deep. And so what happened when I went through this is it got me in touch with some trauma. I've read Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I've done Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. I understood the metaphysical. I've been a practitioner of religious science. I understand, it is done unto, I understand it. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but you can do your prayers and you can do your affirmations and you can do all the work mentally. But sometimes there is things in the subconscious, deep in there, rooted in there. And a lot of it's trauma. And I got in touch with some trauma around money.
I love when we were listening to Morgana Ray the other day, and she was talking about how, and I think this is true in all aspects of our life, that we're calling change and we're calling, a transformation process, but really going straight into the heart of the fear and seeing it as big and as ugly as you possibly can, and what it's done to choke your life out. She was saying that the bigger and more treacherous that you see that little tiny root might be, the greater of a catalyst it can be for our transformation. And that spoke so deeply to my heart, because we all have fears in different areas. And if we recognize it for really how treacherous they are, and then go,
that's what happened.
You totally
I
did
came in
too.
touch with trauma.
You totally
and I didn't bypass it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I nurtured it. It was like, our fears are there speaking to us.
Yes.
Sometimes we go, wow, you shouldn't be fearful. You should know better. You've been a practitioner 8 years and you've been coaching and you've been doing all these things. And it's like telling that child, you're a grown. If I tell Jet, who's 14, and he started crying about something, and he's afraid of something, if I tell him, and you shouldn't be crying, you're a young man, and whatever, that's just nowhere near me as a father. I wouldn't treat Jet that way ever. And so this trauma, this scared little boy, that, there's stories, there's trauma held in the cells, there's trauma held in the body. And that fear of not having, that fear of going to bed hungry, that fear of coming home to a lockbox on our home and having to be moved and evicted and living with families, and the stress that it brought us as a child about money. And I hated money. I was just like, you caused so much pain in my life. And back to Morgana Ray, this beautiful, she's an amazing being. Look her up. Morgana Ray impacted my life early 2000s, and I understood it. But even then, she says, you might do the affirmations, you might do the workshops, you might read the books, and you might have 5% of intellectual understanding. And maybe you watching this going, I've done John Randolph Price. Well, good. How is your world going financially? It is good for you to be rich. It is good for us to be rich. I came into that awareness and that acceptance. I actually said, thank you to my sister Camille. I listened to Wallace D. Wells again last year. And I said, it's good to be rich. I love money.
That word even, just I think, as Morgana was talking about, that people that have been on a spiritual path and really uncovering, knowing that our value is not found in the riches that are on earth. Our riches are inside, and they manifest, they are projected outward if that's what's really going on in our heart, because we know that that's our inheritance, is to flow through life. And so just the inversion of that, a lot of times that word is like, people
but
hear,
it's the
we
same
want
for
to be
everything.
rich, and it's like, oh, and healing that the perception of what that means. Rich in everything.
I love money.
I love money. Money has been so big of a blessing for us.
I love money. Say it. I love money. Now, maybe you're thinking, the love of money is the root of all evil.
That's not what it was saying. That's not what it was saying.
You've been programmed incorrectly. When greed or competition or manipulation for money causes you to do harm to yourself and to another and to the world, the earth, Mama Gaia, that greed, that manipulation, what we've seen in many faces and spaces, that is where evil can be. But money is just an energy. I came into awareness where money was like this woman, this woman who's been abused, this energy, this feminine energy. I saw money as this feminine energy that had been abused and raped and just told that she's dirty, like the Magdalene, that she's the prostitute. She's inherited with 7 demons, and she's just, what we've been programmed. And when you get to see Magdalene, you get to see money, and you go, the purity and the divinity of it, and the power of it, and its ability to let you fly and flourish. And the more money you have, the more I believe you'll give for those that are tuning into us. Because if you're listening to us, I truly believe you're in the vibrational space of your heart. So that has been a very powerful transformation this year that led us to having one of the greatest years in 2020 ever. So I want to share the screen, and I want to share this with you, but you can look this up once again. But we're going to say this together. Okay, this day.
This day.
On 1/1/21.
On 1/1/21.
I cease believing in invisible money.
Respond to you. Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I cease believing in visible money
as my supply and my support.
As my supply and my support.
And I view my current world of effect.
And I view my current world of effect.
As it truly is.
As it truly is.
Simply an outpicturing of my former beliefs.
Simply an outpicturing of my former beliefs.
I believed in the power of money.
I believed in the power of money.
Therefore, I surrendered my God-given power and authority.
Therefore, I surrendered my God God-given power and authority
to an objectified belief.
to an objectified belief.
I believed in the possibility of lack,
I believed in the possibility of lack,
thus causing a separation in consciousness
thus causing a separation in consciousness
from the source of my supply.
from the source of my supply.
I believed in mortal man and carnal conditions.
I believed in mortal man and carnal conditions.
And through this faith,
And through this faith,
gave man and conditions power over me.
I gave man and conditions power over me.
I believed in the mortal illusion
I believed in the mortal illusion
created by the collective consciousness
created by the collective consciousness
of error thoughts.
of error thoughts.
And in doing so,
And in doing so,
I have limited the unlimited.
I have limited the unlimited.
No more.
No more.
I renounce my so-called humanhood
I renounce my so-called humanhood
and claim my divine inheritance
and I claim my divine inheritance
as a being of God.
as a being of God.
This day,
This day,
I acknowledge God is my supply
God is my supply
and my support.
and my support.
So this is something I invite you, if you're listening today, to come back to this video or to go on to Google, search John Randolph Price, 40-Day Prosperity, and begin your 40-day journey with this declaration this day. All right. And this is kind of how it's going to go. So there are 10 affirmations, and we'll begin. We're going to do one more affirmation we're going to say together. And I invite you throughout the day, you're going to write this out, because there's something about writing this out. So you're going to write out each affirmation. There's 10 of them, and then we're going to recycle. We're going to go 1 through 10 on day 11 of January 11th, 111. We're going to begin again on day 1, and we're going to write out that affirmation. We're going to speak it together. We're going to just pray on that, meditate on that, contemplate on that. Continue to repeat that as you're driving throughout your day, as you're just moving, you're washing the dishes, you're vacuuming the house, you're making the bed, whatever that is you're doing, you're going to repeat this affirmation. I promise you, you continue to create this neural pathway in your mental concept of your mind. It's done according to your mental concepts. Okay. This works. Trust me on this. Do this, and we're going to begin with this. This is our first one. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing because you can look at this, but I'm going to do this right here. All right. God is lavish, unfailing abundance.
God is lavish, unfailing abundance.
The rich, omnipresent
the rich, omnipresent
substance of the universe.
substance of the universe.
This all-providing source of infinite prosperity.
This all-providing source of infinite prosperity
is individualized as me.
Is individualized as me.
The reality of me.
The reality of me.
Let's do that again. God is lavish, unfailing abundance.
God is lavish, unfailing abundance.
The rich, omnipresent substance of the universe.
The rich, omnipresent substance of the universe.
This all-providing source.
This all-providing source.
Of infinite prosperity.
Of infinite prosperity.
Is individualized as me.
Is individualized as me.
The reality of me.
The reality of me.
And you may find that going, well, yeah, I agree, or maybe I don't agree. As this goes on, and maybe you're good with this one. God is the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. Everywhere you look, the stars, the sand, the stones, the trees, the birds, the butterflies, the bees, all creation is abundant in nature. God is lavish. You know, I just saw something the other day. It was called Lilakaya or something, that I think if I'm pronouncing it correct, but it's a supercluster of stars that the Milky Way galaxy is just one little red dot in a supercluster of galaxies. And in the Milky Way, that little red dot that I saw in the Milky Way are billions and billions and billions of stars. And our sun is just one of those billions and billions and billions of stars. And we have so many planets around this little star.
Mm-hmm.
It just blows my mind on the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe that God is, that we are, and we are not limited beings.
I think that something else that this is so powerful to shift our mind is that when you start thinking in terms of that, and you start thinking in terms of the majesty of what God really is and the abundance of creation, your problems and your limited beliefs begin to shrink in comparison to when you put your focus on that. And so I love that this is like shifting the mind to the majesty, to the awesomeness, to the bigness of what God really is. And if God can hold all of that together with the divine intelligence, why would I be left out of that equation?
We are the children of God. We are creators. We are chips off the old block, so to say. And so I know that in my times past, and I can do it every day, I need to do the work. We need to do the work every day to realign our mind with the divine mind, to the divine truth, to the reality of we. Because our mind slips into forgetfulness so easily. Just like plaque gets on my teeth so easily. I have to brush my teeth twice a day, maybe 3 times a day. And I have to realign my mind with the divine mind, the divine truth, because I have years of programming. And plus, if I pay attention to media and I pay attention to what everybody else is doing out there, I might be saying, I'll buy some of that. I say yes to some of that. What are we buying? What are we saying yes to? What we say yes to, into our bodies, into our mind, food we eat, I am excited. We've been, most of 2020 is to live a healthy, happy, prosperous life. Simple.
But it's so simple, but we've made it so complicated. I mean, really.
How have you made it complicated?
By thinking that there's, I guess all of the tools and things that we do are helpful. And then you begin to realize that really being happy is much simpler than it once may have seemed. I think letting go. I get too serious. So letting go. So what are you drinking? You're like,
what's this? It's a cup of prosperity.
I don't
It's
think
a
you're on
glass.
the mirror anymore.
No.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. It's prosperity. These are gifts. On the bottom of there is a Masaru Emoto little crystal. These are gifts from Mama Wana Samoya. Thank you if you see this. But this is something we're drinking every day.
It's so good. It's
actually, this is a little bit of it's funny. I'm going to do it anyway because it's called Jovial. And one of the companies that we started with, we helped found this year, is called All for One Club. And this is one of our incredible products that we have been drinking every day. And one of our dear friends who were building this with, David Feinstein, he just messaged us today. He lost 20 pounds.
Yep. It's coming off. It really, it is. It's incredible. He set out on this journey, and none of us had any idea that the weight loss was even part of the package. And so, but as we all started drinking it, we're like,
I love that it says,
good.
This is DNA, detoxifies, nourishes, and activates. DNA.
Love it.
Full of moringa, spirulina, chlorella, superfruits. I mean, it's just packed, and it can be a meal replacement. So if you want to know more information, you can message us, but that's not what this is about. I'm just having a green drink.
And it's green. I mean, come on.
Green is good. Green is God.
Yeah. Green is prosperity.
Aloha, Ava.
Ava!
We have to have you in our new home here in the Temple of Grace. Yes. If you're here in Los Angeles and you're close by, reach out, stay connected. It's time we need to really stay connected to our tribe, our community, more than ever. Don't be afraid.
And if you are feeling so inclined to come out and meet with an amazing group of people that are meeting in different locations, that are standing for just truth and liberty and being led by the Spirit of God, for our nation to pray and to really know that something bigger is happening, please message us and we'll let you know how you can find out about those events. They're happening weekly and some really amazing things are happening. So good.
I think we'll end this. This is going to be the longest this is going to be.
Yeah.
This is just our New Year's message. And you're going to be hearing more of us. You're going to be seeing more of us. We've been quiet throughout 2020, just buckling down and doing our practical work. But we are gearing up, as we mentioned, Mama Laura from the One Global Family Foundation back in 2016, was it? 4 years ago, right around when Standing Rock was happening. And also we were working with public watchdogs and indigenous leaders and luminaries and artists. We did 56 days of a call to sacred activism, if you remember. And we were so honored to produce those with Laura of Tessamali, known as Laura Sa, or Mama Laura to us, and the One Global Family Foundation to bring awareness to San Onofre, this decommissioned nuclear power plant here near San Diego. And they were planning on burying 108 feet away from the ocean floor, 72 canisters of nuclear waste on a tsunami zone, an earthquake zone, and canisters that were only promised, guaranteed maybe 10 years life expectancy. And then the, Southern California Edison going to wash their hands away. They walk away with billions of dollars.
No insurance, nothing.
No insurance.
Nothing.
The FEMA can't do anything. It's been a mess. And that was 4 years ago. And so we were passionate about bringing not social activism, but sacred activism. And we brought to the conversation forgiveness and love and unity and peace, and coming in and working and restoring the sacred hoop, working with the likes of Chief Phil Lane, Chief Arvo Looking Horse, Chief Daniel Ramos, the grandmothers, and many, many, many luminaries. And so starting on the 10th of January, we are teaming up again with Laura and the One Global Family Foundation. And the first of every Sunday, every month, except January, we're beginning on the 2nd, but we'll be coming live and really bringing awareness to the issues that are on our planet, and to really bring peace. And we'll talk more about that.
And we're doing, I just want to mention too that we're going to have Michelle Anderson with us. Of Awakening Code Radio, and you guys definitely tune into that if you haven't listened to their broadcast and the podcast that they have. Incredible conversations that are pertinent, they're practical, they're expanded, but they're very practical. And I think that's moving forward. We want to continue to be practical, boots on the ground, hearts open wide, totally trusting that we are here for this moment because we are the revelation of love. We really are.
For those light workers, those leaders, those of you know who you are. We've been floating around in the ethers and wanting to get off this planet, and it's time. We got to anchor in. As Casey Kasem always reminded me as a kid, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Keep that stretch, but keep rooted, grounded like an oak tree. Let those roots get into the underbelly of Gaia. Let's be here. Let's commune here. Let's get together. Do what we're here to do. The word for 2021 for me, I don't know if you subscribe to this, but I know for me, Spirit gave me live your legacy. What are you here to do? It's time to live our legacy in 2021. Don't apologize. Don't shrink back. Be the voice. Be the change. Be the revelation of love.
We are the 7th generation. Long-awaited revelation. We are the rainbow family. By divine grace, we are unity. We are the calming of the waters, protecting all the sons and daughters. We are the change, the liberation. We are the holy revelation. We are the change, the liberation. We are the holy revelation. We are the starry universe. We are the body of our Mother Earth, the light of Father sky above, the descending of the peaceful dove. walls fall down within and without. If the eye be single, the body full of light, as we rise and we rise and we rise. Oh, we are the change, the liberation. We are the holy revelation. We are the change, the liberation. We are the holy revelation. Sing it. We are the change, the liberation. We are the holy revelation. We are the change, the liberation. We are the holy revelation. We are the change, the liberation. We are the holy revelation.
So in this holy now, I just offer this benediction, this prayer offering to all those watching now, and whenever you choose to watch, knowing that right where you are, the power and presence of God is, as I am, as we are. We are guarded, we are guided, we are provided by an all-supplying source of God, love, whatever we choose to call this energy, this force of good of God. It is present right in our holy breath. I know this truth for myself. I know that there is this power that I am one with. And I know this for everybody listening, that source of good, that source of abundance, that source of prosperity, that source of health, that source of happiness, that source of peace dwells right here in the kingdom of heaven, right within us. And so from this place, I am joyful. From this place, I am grateful. From this place, I serve with love. From this place, I see victory. Knowing that we are a choice every moment of every day to have faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these, knowing love is the greatest of these. So knowing that love, when I claim love in my being, then knowing that I am love, we are love, true love, divine love. It makes our path straight. It magnetizes to us every good thing we can conceive of. Be it community, be it health, be it friends, be it opportunity, be it prosperity. I rest my heart, I rest my mind in knowing that those who are listening now and saying yes to this word that's spoken by the God presence that I am, it is done unto you as you choose to say yes, yes, yes. This is the truth of our being. And our eye is single on this truth. Good things are coming to those who believe.
Your love is the change.
Something we say in our home often, for I know the plans I have for you, declares God, declares the Lord, declares love itself. Plans to prosper you, plans to give you hope in a future. Put your trust in that, on the promises, in the deliverance of love. And may the powers of love within you ignite and burn bright as a fire.
The holy, holy fire.
So if you're in agreement with this spoken prayer, this benediction, this time that we gathered together, just simply affirm in your heart and let it go and let it be so, because it is so. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen. Ashe. Shalom.
Amen.
Aloha. Hector Torres.
Beautiful.
I don't know if you're still
Olivia.
Happy New Year, brother.
We love you guys.
Stay close.
Yes.
And this is day one. Remember, let's go back to day one. God is lavish, unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. This all-providing source of infinite prosperity is individualized as me, as we, the reality of me and we.
So good.
We love you so much. Share.